Just turn on?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
I'm gonna get the big thumbs up.
All right. Great navigation. So what went well? Obviously, as I just said, one, the navigation. You're able to manage through all of that.
I thought that I was able to, I don't know, I was trying to use, I thought that.
Staccato-y, I love it.
It sounded like they played it well. I don't know if it's because I was sitting there.
Did they play the articulation that you absolutely wanted? Pretty close. How would it be better?
I think maybe,
More staccato-y?
I think like maybe the length is good, like the staccato is good, but maybe it just needs to be like
A little more breadth?
heavier, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we can go after that for sure. What else do you think went well? Did you like your tempo? Yeah, I did too. Anything else that you thought went well? You didn't mess up really bad. Can we talk about one small technical thing? So would you show me where, we're going to use a 4 pattern for this. Can you show me where beat 1 for you is? Okay, there's 1. Where's beat 2 for you? Okay, I agree. Where's beat 3? No. All right,
Yeah, that
now.
always feels kind of weird, like I bend my elbow in a weird way.
So when I wanted to watch dead on because I had a feeling about this, there's a lack of proportion in your 4 pattern. So to me, the distance from 1 to 2 is about right here. So then I anticipate that the distance from where your center line is, or 1 to 3, should be about here, and it's right here. Yeah, so and it's not the worst thing in the world. However, I think you could be much more clear if we could start to move this out just a touch more. Right now, I feel like your elbow is out, but it's kind of somewhat too close to your torso, and I think it just needs to move out in this way, a little more to 3 o'clock rather than being stuck back here kind of at 6 o'clock. So could you just, yeah, right, a couple of these, right? All right, and let's just give me your best détaché regular 4 pattern. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see?
Go like that.
So this takes a little physical practice because we know from what Miss Green has told us, or at least through me, is that we have to move faster in order to get from 2 over to 3 because it's actually twice the distance from any of the others. So I think what's happening is you're moving at the same speed and that only gets you so far. So you have to actually think a lot about placing 2 to 3. Could you just do back and forth for me? Just whoosh, 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 whoosh. Yeah. Now can you be more like ping-pongy? Bonk, 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 bonk. All right? Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And a lot of that's just going to take some practice, but I think what that does is it opens up the breadth with the DTH, the breadth of your pattern, rather than it seeming a little constricted. If I had to explain the visual of watching you head on, it's accurate, it's careful, it's a little constricted. And I think that's why you're saying, I could use a little more body to those notes. And I think when we conduct like this is the body of the sound that we give them, rather than like this, and this is now the body of the sound. So let's do this introduction once more. Here's the good news. You have the navigational thing. Now we want to focus on, in my mind, two things. Opening up the pattern and maybe a little more focus to that staccato, to get a little more crispness to it. Okay, here we go. Where's your baton? There you go. Not over here,
Yeah.
right to them. And now that I've given you the
Great fourth pattern.
yes, the navigation's good. You're like, oh! All right, wonderful. Let's do that again. Is your articulation different? Yeah, you were trying to get a little more front to the sound. Let's get even more. I'm like a bad golf instructor. I've given you like 8 instructions rather than just tell you hit the ball. Yeah. So, but that's a thing. Now that you're thinking about, oh God, what's my articulation doing? And oh, where is 3 for me? Or where is 2 when it's in a 3-4? Now that I've got that going on, I've disrupted some of your navigational things. So it's just about adding that layer of information to them. Okay, so where do you think this is the lightest, the most, for lack of a better word, intimate? More chamber music, if you will.
Maybe like that big crescendo into what?
That could be.
Like here?
Yeah, I think so, right? We're looking at letter B. So B to me, I'm always looking for those chamber music possibilities and full ensemble music. So chamber music, we probably will not get around to talking about chamber music and talking about how to conduct it. But what kind of information in chamber music are musicians trying to deal with?
Issues.
Think about your
Like issues
quintet.
of just lining up and like coming, or just being together.
Yeah, sure. So how, if you've decided, okay, letter B is going to be my chamber music. It's a little brass quintet, sextet, something like that, right? How can I just show style, show time, but let them do the work? And then where do you need to take charge again? Yeah, maybe as more voices start to come in, and that's when you say, okay, no, now I'm back in charge. Okay, so I want you to start at letter A, since we're just about out of time. Focus on your articulation, but also focus on where do I need to lead, and where do I just need to motivate. This is letter A. Yeah, let's do that again. Right on it, right on letter A. So chamber music. You don't want to have a Letty moment,
Yeah.
right? Still have your baton here, holding the sound. You can have your Bernstein moment at the end of the piece, okay? Very good. That's much improved. Thank you. 2:08, right? We'll be just maybe a couple minutes overtime. Is everybody okay just to stay a minute or two?
I can speed a little. I don't have
Oh no, you will feel the full brunt of instruction. A wall of instruction is heading your way.
Just everybody scream everything.
Sorry.
If anyone sees a baton lying around the music building,
Oh, no.
do you lost it?
I'm listening. Should I just go
Oh,
now?
I broke mine.
You what?
I'm listening to rap for this. Should I go now or should I wait?
Whatever you think.
Too fucking practicing.
What's up?
Here we go. Let's pick a spot other than the beginning. Let's talk about letter A. Okay? So, what do you want at letter A?
I mean, I guess I'm kind of influenced by what I've been playing, but just a little bit less harsh, or like a little bit less rigid.
Okay?
More
So,
flow.
less rigidity, more flow.
And then it snaps back into it. Three after.
So, I'm wondering if you could do this. Could you conduct anybody, and this would be an ensemble instruction, if you have the tune at any time from letter A to letter B, would you just play? If you do not have the tune, then you're not going to play. And I want to see how much you're going to influence the people that have the tune. Okay?
Well, I mean, wait, I know where you're going with this. Wait, okay, fine.
All right, so the tune is in where? Second cornet.
First,
Yep,
yes, and first five.
Yeah, okay. And go ahead and give us the upbeat into letter A. So we want beat 4 before letter A. That's the upbeat.
Sorry.
Yep. All right, you're looking coy. So you looked up here like 3/4 of the way through, and
I mean,
what was going on in your mind?
I felt like I just changed tempos, and also like because by wanting to change characters, I changed tempo.
Okay, why don't you try it again? Then we're going to talk about the character. Okay? So you sense a change of character in those last two measures before letter B.
Yes.
All right, so you guys played. What are you sensing from her as far as character / style?
Didn't really feel like much change.
It got a little faster. Like the
Really?
rebounds.
Wait, I thought like my
It was
rebound
like
was different,
here,
right?
It was like here to here. Like here to here.
So this goes to something that I think Aaron talked about both in your rehearsal observation and just your verbal comments the other day. Talking about sometimes we perceive that we're showing this much information, and what we get in return is about this much. So sometimes we talk about how much force, how much energy is behind what you're showing. We've talked about gestures being attached to the breath and all this kind of stuff. But I think your perception of what you're showing here is different from the reality. So there is no realities. It's only really how they perceive it. Okay? It doesn't matter what it feels like to us as conductors. It only matters how they perceive it. So we always have to get into the minds of the people that have to read us. Okay? So let's see if you can, if you want a difference here, let's see if you can do something that's got a little more stimulus input, right? A little more energy behind it. Okay? Now you're getting something, right? Did you have to do something more there in order to influence that?
Yeah, I mean, I just did more of that and more of that.
Yeah. And that's where we have to go with things. If you really are committed to, oh, I want this change here, and rather than yap at them about it in rehearsal, then you're going to have to show it even more with a little more emphasis. Okay? So now I want you to conduct everybody that doesn't have the tune at letter A. And right on the downbeat of A. We don't need to do the upbeat. So what's their job and how are you going to communicate with them?
I guess they don't have to be as much.
Okay?
I guess.
They can, sure.
Because a ton of them are playing that, but they're not the theme.
Are they marked the same dynamic?
Oh, yeah, everything's marked the same thing.
Everything's marked the same dynamic. So that would be something that we need to discuss. But are they playing that?
Some variation of that.
So I want to know, because I'm picking on you because you've got a lot of the technique down. I want to see if you can influence both things simultaneously.
Right.
You have to take off this. We've got 1 minute left, folks.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I mean, I just think, like, even though this is the original theme, it could just be a little bit less.
So the trick is to get this rolling
Right.
the way you want it, and then
And
turn
then-
your, that's right.
Right. Well, I feel like they could be, like, more or less the same, and then everyone goes into the chord.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, and that's where you have to show your energy.
Sure.
Okay? So this is the upbeat, please, into letter A. I've heard that word more than a few times with the ending. So, work out the ending. Also, watch and be mindful, your shoulder gets really active. So I'm wondering, most of this can be accomplished from elbow down. Use your shoulder gear sparingly, okay? Maybe that's just a little bit of letter C, but then once you get the momentum of the music going, you can back out of it just a bit, all right? Much improved. What I'm trying, thank you everybody. What I'm just trying to get you to show.
Yes.
Thanks for staying a couple extra minutes, everybody.